Have you ever looked at your child and wondered, why does this child think like this? Why does one child love books, words, questions, arguments, and stories? Why does another child quietly observe people, catch emotional shifts, and understand what nobody has said? Why does one teenager feel alive when designing, creating, performing, speaking, presenting, or building something beautiful? And why does another child look intelligent but still feels lost when pushed into the wrong subject, wrong career path, wrong coaching class, wrong comparison game? Today, I want you to listen carefully, because this is not a generic personality talk. This is an actual case study. I will use imaginary names for privacy. Let us call the child Arav. Arav is a young person with a very specific intelligence architecture. And when I say intelligence architecture, I do not mean marks. I do not mean school rank. I do not mean good in science or weak in maths. I mean the deeper diagnostic pattern of how the mind, emotions, talents, communication, creativity, soul drive, and career intelligence are wired. And the diagnostic engine I use here is planetary placement, not vague advice, not random motivation, not let the child follow passion without knowing what that passion is made of. I am talking about a direct intelligence map created through signs, planets, houses, karakas, conjunctions, and the way these placements show what type of intelligence a child carries. Because once you understand the intelligence map, you stop forcing the child into borrowed dreams. You begin seeing the child accurately. Now in Arav's chart, the ascendant is Gemini. The Sun is in Gemini in the first house. Mercury is also in Gemini in the first house, and Mercury is the Amatyakaraka, the career intelligence planet. Mars is the Amatyakaraka, the soul indicator, placed in Taurus in the 12th house, along with Venus. Jupiter is in Pisces in the 10th house. Moon and Saturn are in Aries in the 11th house. Rahu is in Leo in the 3rd house. Ketu is in Aquarius in the 9th house. Now pause here. If you are a parent, do not just hear these as planets. Hear them as intelligence codes. Gemini Ascendant means the child meets life through thought, language, curiosity, conversation, and mental movement. This child is not built to sit silently and obey without understanding. This child asks. This child compares. This child connects. This child may talk, argue, question, joke, imitate, explain, and sometimes irritate you with too many mental branches. But that is not disobedience. That is intelligence seeking oxygen. When Mercury becomes Amatyakaraka and sits in Gemini in the first house, it becomes one of the strongest signatures of communication intelligence. This child's career path, skill path, and applied talent path are Mercury-Led. That means writing, speaking, teaching, analysis, technology, marketing, business, content, language, design of ideas, reasoning, and communication become central. This is not a child who should be measured only by whether they can memorize textbook answers. This is a child who needs to process the world by explaining it. And this is where many parents make the first mistake. They see a talkative child and say, "Stop talking." They see a questioning child and say, "Just study." They see a witty child and say, "Be serious." But in intelligence mapping, that same talkativeness may be the raw material of a future speaker, writer, teacher, strategist, counselor, brand thinker, media creator, or consultant. You don't kill the signal. You refine it. Now add Sun with Mercury and Gemini in the first house. This creates a child whose identity is tied to intelligence. Arav does not just want to know. Arav wants to be seen as smart, clear, capable, expressive, and mentally alive. Sun gives visibility. Mercury gives speech. Gemini gives movement. The first house gives identity. So the first dominant intelligence here is linguistic intelligence. This child can become powerful with words. Writing, speaking, debating, storytelling, scripting, podcasting, teaching, presenting, explaining complex ideas simply. These are not side skills. These are core intelligence channels. Have you noticed some children understand a topic better only after they explain it to someone else? That is Mercury intelligence. They may not learn best through silence. They learn through dialogue. They may not remember best through rote repetition. They remember through examples, stories, comparisons, analogies, and mental play. So when you force such a child into a dry, passive learning environment, you may actually reduce their intelligence expression. Now, the second intelligence is interpersonal intelligence. Why? Because Sun Mercury in the first gives social expression. Moon in the 11th gives emotional connection to groups, networks, friends, communities, and social belonging. Rahu in the 3rd gives bold communication and media hunger. Jupiter in the 10th gives public guidance. This child does not only think alone. This child thinks in relation to people. Arav will observe how people respond. Who listens? Who ignores? Who dominates? Who is popular? Who is emotionally safe? Who gives validation? Who challenges? This can create a child who is good at understanding social dynamics, but also sensitive to peer pressure and comparison. So here's the coaching truth. This child needs good circles, because the 11th house is activated. Moon and Saturn in Aries in the 11th can create ambition, social pressure, and emotional seriousness around friends and peer groups. Arav may want to belong, but may also feel judged. He may want recognition, but may fear rejection. He may appear confident, but internally there may be pressure to prove himself. So if you are parenting a child like this, don't only ask, are your marks good? Ask, who are you spending time with? Do your friends inspire your intelligence or drain it? Are you comparing yourself or creating something meaningful? Because for this child, the social environment can either awaken intelligence or distort it. Now we come to Mars as Amatyakaraka in Taurus in the 12th house with Venus. This is the soul code. Mars as Amatyakaraka means the soul wants courage, action, problem solving, directness, execution, and mastery. But Mars is in Taurus. Taurus is not impulsive. Taurus builds. Taurus values beauty, stability, comfort, money, voice, resources, food, art, and material refinement. And Mars is with Venus, the planet of beauty, design, aesthetics, pleasure, luxury, refinement, and relationship. Now put both of them in the 12th house, the house of solitude, imagination, foreign lands, dreams, private spaces, spiritual withdrawal, hidden strengths, and the unseen world. What does this create? It creates a very interesting intelligence pattern. Creative technical intelligence hidden in a private inner world. This child may not show all talents immediately. Some of their best ideas may come when they are alone. Some of their deepest intelligence may appear through music, design, photography, visual storytelling, private writing, digital creativity, fashion sense, room aesthetics, food presentation, mood boards, or beautiful functional objects. This is not a raw Mars. This is not only sports or aggression. This is Mars refined by Venus in Taurus. So the child may enjoy building something beautiful, not just solving a problem, solving it elegantly, not just making content, making it visually attractive, not just studying psychology, presenting it beautifully, not just using technology, using it to create experience, design, meaning, or emotional impact. This gives visual spatial intelligence and creative design intelligence. And this is why, for Arav, fields like visual communication, UX design, branding, content creation, media design, creative technology, psychology-based design, educational media, film, presentation design, architecture or interiors, and digital storytelling can become highly suitable. Now listen to this carefully. A child like this may not find joy in a career that is only mechanical, repetitive, and emotionally dry. They need beauty. They need meaning. They need expression. They need space. They need a field where intelligence becomes visible through communication and design. Now, Jupiter in Pisces in the 10th house is another major placement. This is the public purpose placement. Jupiter is wisdom, teaching, ethics, guidance, philosophy, higher knowledge, mentorship, and meaning. Pisces adds compassion, healing, imagination, spirituality, emotional sensitivity, and service. The 10th house is career, public image, reputation, and contribution to the world. So this child's career path cannot be only about earning money. Of course, money matters. But inner satisfaction will come when work feels meaningful. Arav may be drawn toward teaching, counseling, coaching, psychology, education, spiritual guidance, human development, social impact, storytelling with meaning, wellness communication, or advisory roles. This gives existential intelligence. That means the child asks deeper questions. Why am I here? What is the purpose of success? Why do people suffer? What is the right thing to do? How do I help others? How do I connect knowledge with life? And here again, many parents misunderstand. They see the child thinking deeply and say, don't overthink. But intelligence mapping says, do not dismiss the depth. Give it direction. Let the child read philosophy, psychology, biographies, cultural stories, spiritual ideas, ethics, mythology, and human behavior. Let them explore the big questions, but anchor them into practical skill. Because Jupiter in the 10th wants wisdom to become work. Now Ketu in Aquarius in the 9th house adds another layer. The 9th house is higher learning, belief systems, philosophy, teachers, universities, dharma, long-distance knowledge, and worldview. Aquarius is systems, networks, technology, reform, innovation, social change, humanity, futuristic thinking. Ketu brings detachment, nonconformity, past life knowledge, abstraction, and the ability to question. So this child may not accept beliefs simply because elders say so. They may ask, but why? They may challenge tradition. They may prefer personal experience over blind instruction. They may be interested in unusual subjects, astrology, psychology, technology, AI, future societies, metaphysics, social systems, reform, philosophy, or hidden patterns behind human behavior. This gives a strong abstract systems intelligence. It also supports logical mathematical intelligence, but not necessarily in the boring textbook way. More in the form of pattern recognition, frameworks, system design, analytical thinking, technology, research, and big picture logic. So if you say this child is not interested in maths, that may not mean the child lacks logic. It may mean the child does not enjoy dead formulas without purpose. Give them data storytelling, psychology statistics, coding for design, AI tools, UX research, behavioral analytics, business strategy, or systems thinking, and you may see a different intelligence awaken. Now, Rahu in Leo in the 3rd house is one of the most powerful media signatures. The 3rd house is communication, courage, hands, skills, writing, hobbies, performance, short-form effort, digital activity, and self-expression. Leo is stage, visibility, confidence, leadership, creativity, and performance. Rahu amplifies ambition, unconventional expression, audience reach, and hunger for recognition. This placement says the child has bold communication karma. Arav may be drawn to stage, social media, content, acting, YouTube, podcasting, reels, storytelling, dramatic speaking, performance, or creative expression. But this must be guided, because Rahu and Leo can want applause before mastery. So the coaching is build skill before fame. Teach the child to create not only for likes but for impact. Not only for attention but for message. Not only to be seen, but to communicate something valuable. If guided well, this can become a powerful public voice. If unguided, it can become distraction, comparison, and validation addiction. Now let us rank Arav's intelligence types. The first and strongest is linguistic intelligence. Words are the gateway. Speaking, writing, teaching, scripting, debating, explaining, storytelling, language, content, public communication. This is the primary channel. Second is interpersonal intelligence. This child understands people, group dynamics, social response, emotional tone, and influence. They can become a counselor, coach, teacher, communicator, mentor, community builder, HR leader, public relations expert, or relationship educator. Third is existential intelligence. This is the deeper intelligence of meaning, purpose, ethics, spirituality, philosophy, human suffering, and life direction. Jupiter in Pisces 10th and Ketu in Aquarius 9th make this strong. Fourth is visual spatial intelligence. Venus in Taurus with Mars in the 12th creates design sense, aesthetic imagination, private creativity, visual mood, beauty, and form. This supports design, branding, UX, media, photography, styling, creative direction, interiors, or visual storytelling. Fifth is logical mathematical intelligence. Not necessarily as dry calculation, but as systems, patterns, analysis, technology, frameworks, strategic thinking, and problem solving. Sixth is intrapersonal intelligence. Mars Amatyakaraka in the 12th, Venus in the 12th, Jupiter in Pisces, and Ketu in the 9th show a child who needs solitude, reflection, inner processing, and private meaning. Seventh is musical intelligence. Venus in Taurus gives sensitivity to sound, rhythm, tone, beauty, and pleasure. Mercury gives voice and timing. Moon Saturn can give rhythm with discipline. This may show through music, voice, podcasting, sound, spoken word, performance, or emotional regulation through music. Eighth is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Mars Amatyakaraka and Rahu in the 3rd give action and skill, but Taurus in 12th house refine this into dance, yoga, instruments, craft, acting, photography, cooking, or hand-based creative work, rather than purely athletic dominance. Ninth is naturalist intelligence. Taurus, Pisces, Venus, Jupiter, and Ketu can give love for nature, beauty, animals, natural healing, food systems, sustainable design, or ecological aesthetics. It may not be the main career intelligence, but it can become a meaningful support. Now, what fields of study would work best for a child like Arav? Not one narrow answer. The best fields are combinations: psychology plus communication, design plus human behavior, media plus education, technology plus creativity, branding plus storytelling, philosophy plus writing, counseling plus spiritual intelligence, UX design plus psychology, digital media plus social impact, educational technology plus content, creative entrepreneurship plus human development. This is the kind of child who may enjoy mass communication, psychology, design, UX, branding, media, literature, philosophy, digital marketing, behavioral science, education, coaching, counseling, AI communication, product strategy, content creation, or spiritual human development fields. And now comes the most important point. Why is this intelligence mapping system superior and direct? Because it does not begin with social pressure. It does not ask what is trending. It does not ask, what did the neighbor's child choose? It does not ask, which course has more prestige? It begins with the diagnostic engine of the birth chart. Planetary placement shows the intelligence route. The sign shows the style. The house shows the life area. The Karaka shows the soul and career priority. The conjunction shows blended intelligence. The nodal axis shows unconventional growth and karmic direction. So instead of guessing, we map. Instead of forcing, we decode. Instead of saying my child is confused, we ask, which intelligence is dominant, which intelligence is supporting, and which environment will allow this child to blossom? That is why planetary intelligence mapping is direct. It shows whether the child is language-led, design-led, logic-led, movement-led, music-led, people-led, nature-led, self-reflection-led, or meaning-led. And most children are not one thing. They are combinations. Arav is not just smart. Arav is a Mercury-led communicator with a Mars-Venus creative soul and a Jupiter-guided public purpose. That sentence alone changes the way you parent this child. You stop asking him to become a copy of someone else. You start giving him the right tools. Give this child language. Give him books. Give him speaking opportunities. Give him design tools. Give him meaningful mentors. Give him psychology and philosophy. Give him media projects. Give him creative technology. Give him space to think. Give him good peer circles. Give him performance opportunities, but teach discipline. Give him spiritual and ethical grounding, but don't force blind belief. Give him structure, but don't suffocate curiosity. Because when you align education with intelligence, the child does not need constant pushing. The child begins to move naturally. That is the power of a real intelligence map. You are not here to make your child successful by fear. You are here to help your child become accurate. Accurate to their mind, accurate to their talents, accurate to their joy, accurate to their relationship with the world. And if you are listening as a parent, mentor, teacher, or young person, I want you to ask yourself this. Are you choosing a field because it matches your intelligence, or because someone scared you into it? Are you studying what gives you life, or only what gives you approval? Are you building your future from your real design, or from borrowed expectations? Because the wrong path can make an intelligent child look lazy. The wrong environment can make a creative child look distracted. The wrong subject can make a philosophical child look slow. The wrong coaching can make a communicator feel noisy instead of gifted. But the right intelligence map can change everything. It can show you where the child will think better, learn faster, create deeper, connect stronger, and feel more alive. So if you want a deep intelligence map reading, one that works for you, your child, your teenager, your Gen Z learner, your future decisions, get in touch with me. Not for a generic prediction, not for fear, not for labels, but for clarity. Because your child does not need another comparison. Your child needs a map, a real map, a deep map. A map that shows intelligence, joy, study direction, talent expression, emotional wiring, and connection with the world. And once you see that map, you stop asking, what should my child become? You begin asking the better question, what is my child already designed to become? And how do I support that intelligence before the world buries it?